Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Block Bytes. This is Monday, and it is time for our weekly technical analysis with our technical guru, Vicky. We'll take a look at what the charts say. All right, Vicky, take away. What do we have today?
Hello everyone. So last week I was telling that the closing of last week is very important.
Right.
Based on that, we can gauge what is the sentiment and what is the demand for Bitcoin or Ethereum.
Correct.
And it looks like the demand has been sluggish only, sir. This is last week's close. I honestly was expecting it to close in the green.
Okay.
This was last week's close, and you can see the candle here. Literally, bulls and the bears are both fighting it out here. And that is why it ultimately ended at the same price. Whatever it opened last week, it closed at the same price, pretty much the same price.
Right.
This is what we call something as a doji candle. So this is a weekly doji. This basically conveys there is not much consensus between bulls and bears. So okay. I think I'll have to go back to my original bias again. The bias that we are going to dump. I'm sticking to that right now.
Correct. That makes sense.
So this was the box. I actually got the box deleted last week, thinking it would go higher. But now it seems that the box was from the beginning. I have been right only with respect to the box. So it touched the box. I mean, this line, this area is where the box was. Now it kind of tested this area, and now it will probably be wandering here for another 1 week and will start to drop from perhaps next week.
Right.
So this seems to be the ultimate two places of interest where I'll be looking for longs again. So that I think with respect to Ethereum also, nothing has changed. The same thing has prevailed. I'll go to the Ethereum chart here. I'll go to the Ethereum chart here. And even here, nothing has changed. Everything is same.
Correct.
I was expecting it to this. I was expecting the price to hit this circle here. Like it did here. You can see, no, sir. I was telling you, no, sir. Here we got this test of a circle. Here we got this. Here we got this. And similar test we got here. The thing is, I was expecting it honestly to reach exactly this point. That is around 1780. But it does not reach 1780. It is struggling at this region. I mean, it max went to 1751. Yeah, 1751. That was the max it went. But still, this I think this is the top for this particular quarter.
Okay.
And we are on route to this area, this accumulation zone. Probably over the next month, probably by this month end or by next month beginning, we'll be here.
Okay. So
this is definitely sad news. But I personally think this week will somehow be testing this region or somewhere in this region. Probably 1690s is on the cards this week.
Okay.
So this week there will be proper short squeeze, and from next week we start the proper dump in this week.
Okay. So what would be the market triggers that will give you a good amount of confidence that the prices are actually going to go down now?
So right now, it's a very good question. Like, what triggers this dump?
Right.
I am only saying this from a technical point of view.
Correct.
From a fundamental point of view, what triggers the sell-off could be the Israel-Palestine conflict would trigger it.
Okay.
Or there has already been a proper selling pressure. Spot selling pressure it's very evident, sir. Actually.
Okay.
Compared, I think the approval of the what is it? The demand for the approved futures Ether ETF, I think, is actually playing a role. Why? Because people thought the Ether futures ETF will find demand from the market, but they actually didn't find any demand from the market.
Okay.
So that is one reason why there has been a sell-off, because people are thinking that that's not much demand for Ethereum. At least right now. That is why you could see there's a lot of spot selling pressure on Ethereum.
Okay. So for my information, this
And
demand.
one more thing, sir. One more thing. I'll come to a very important coincidence here. I'll tell you this: whatever big dump, big weekly candles we got, weekly red candles we got in this year so far, started on the third week of the odd month. Sorry, of the even month.
Okay.
It's very important. Why I'm saying this because let's start with February. In February, the third week of February marked the top. This is the third week of February. You can see now,
Right.
this was the third week of February. From here, it dumped for another 3 weeks. Next, after February, the next even month is April. This was April. This was the third week of April.
Okay. Right. So February,
One
3
more,
weeks.
one more. I'm not done. This is the third week of April, and this is the next is June. I'll skip June for now, and we'll come to go to August for now. And this is the third week of August. This candle
Right.
here, the big candle.
Right.
And instead of the third week of June, the second week of June, a crash happened. This, or you can kind of, this was an exception. This was an exception where the dump happened kind of a week earlier. That is, instead of the third week, it happened in the second week.
Okay.
What I'm trying to say is there is some kind of coincidence here, where the third week of even month is it's usually turning out to be a very big crash. From the this could be from the market maker's point of view.
Okay.
Because it has consistently happened, except the month of June. This is the third week of February, it marked the top. The third week of April marked this top, and here we had the third week of August, we had a huge crash. So I'm expecting this week somehow we'll close in the green for Ethereum as well as for Bitcoin, probably. And next week the real dump could actually happen.
No, my question was that, okay, I see that there is no spot demand, and even the ETF futures has been lukewarm. But there is this basal amount of demand that is there in Ethereum or in Bitcoin also. So that demand is neither going down or not going up, right? It's just there. So wouldn't there be more likely a sideways action than a dump? Or do you think that?
Possible. It's definitely a possibility. There's no doubt in that. There could be a sideways, action that can actually extend for even 2-3 weeks or even one or more 2 months.
Right.
That is a possibility. But from a technical point of view,
You're seeing the patterns of a
we have
dump.
lost major support. So that is the biggest concern actually, and we are not able to kind of reclaim that also. If you look at Ethereum, here, we are not being able to reclaim any of these lines. Here we reclaimed. This was a very important reclaim here.
Okay.
We closed above the orange line. We closed above the yellow line. Two crucial moving averages. But unfortunately, that didn't happen. We couldn't sustain that. We immediately, last week, we lost both the important moving averages. So unless this is reclaimed, cannot be sure that much sure about the sideways action. Since we have lost this, if you are not, suppose for example, the price was sitting above this orange line, I would have some hope that we were probably moving in a sideways thing till spot demand appears again.
Okay.
But that thing is actually lost.
Okay. Okay. And
as a matter of fact, I'm right now long. I'm planning to close my longs probably with this weekend.
okay. As you said, the market will probably end in the green that's how you feel.
Yeah, I'm expecting it to end in green for this week. The thing is, last week I was actually very optimistic because there is a lot of spot demand. But
Okay.
this
Yeah,
week
yeah.
it has kind of disappeared. There's no spot demand this week. Who was buying last week? I don't know what happened. They stopped buying, or there are not enough bids right now.
So, I mean, as a general question, who are these people who keep buying and selling? I mean, I think you mentioned market makers, but
Yes,
what?
sir. We actually can't be sure, sir. Why? Because we can only look at the order book and say there are bids placed here.
Right. Of course, we can't be sure who these people are here.
Yeah. So we can't tell you whether they are whales, whether they are market makers. Sometimes Binance themselves buy. They themselves place bids. They themselves try to profit out of the market movements.
Hmm.
So we can't be really be sure that these bids are coming from these players. We can't really be sure unless their wallets are named. For example, be it Wintermute or GSR Labs or DWF Labs or other market makers.
Right.
If they are buying, we can find out from their spot bid because their wallets are tagged on Etherscan. So these are all with respect to Ethereum and Bitcoin. We can only say that there is a lot of demand only from the base of the order book. But we can't really be sure who are all buying and why are they buying. We can't really be sure.
Anything else that we need to? So the week is. So the two main points that you mentioned is, of course, it did not go as planned. We were expecting it to go higher, but because of choppy spot action, spot trading volumes, it has actually gone down instead. But you feel that the end of the week should still be in green, and then it will be interesting to see what happens after that. Most probably it will go down, according to you.
Yes, even if the week is ending green, the next week will be starting to go down.
Gotcha.
Which means that the original plan. My original plan was not hit this box or hit this circle for Ethereum and then come down. It is happening now actually. I was kind of optimistic last week looking at the spot demand, but it turns out to be an eyewash.
Okay. All right. That said, there are no, I mean, the war has been a pretty big black swan event, but we'll have to see how much of an impact does it actually have on the prices. But besides barring that, there are no significant news items in the pipeline, right? In the next week.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right then. Shall we wrap it up then, Vicky?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Well, that's it for today, folks. And we will see you again on Monday for the next round of technical analysis. Hopefully, we'll see some good price action that makes everybody happy. Let me put it that way. Till next week. Bye bye.